Walk through any major city today, and the macroeconomic indicators look perfectly healthy. The stock market is hovering near all-time highs, while the national unemployment rate sits at a modest 4.4%. This chart highlights the disconnect playing out on the ground. While overall unemployment remains a flat, stable line, graduate hiring is plummeting, down nearly 45%. Workers currently in the system are watching these numbers and refusing to move. The employee quit rate has dropped to decade lows as people prioritize staying in their current roles over the risk of looking for something new. Because existing employees are staying put, the few open roles have become intense bottlenecks. A single remote job posting can now attract hundreds of applicants in a matter of hours. Companies are maintaining their current operations while quietly restricting access to new roles. This shift creates a period of constrained stability, where the job market is effectively frozen for those on the outside. The disconnect between stable headlines and an impossible job hunt proves we are facing a structural freeze. Changes in how companies value and recruit new talent are actively locking applicants out of the system. This freeze began with a shift in macroeconomic triggers. The end of the cheap money era and rising energy costs forced corporations into a defensive posture. Wall Street investors have abandoned the growth at all costs model. The new mandate is cash flow durability, forcing businesses to prove they can generate reliable revenue without burning through external capital. This balance scale illustrates the metric driving corporate behavior. Investors are pouring capital into companies that can generate massive revenue using the smallest possible human workforce. Management teams are responding to this pressure by shifting their budgets. Instead of hiring people to scale, they are prioritizing investments in scalable technology infrastructure. The stock market actively reinforces this behavior. When a major corporation announces a strategic hiring freeze or workforce reduction, their stock price often rises in response to the promised efficiency. Freezing the hiring pipeline is a deliberate component of modern financial architecture. Capital has moved away from human labor as the default engine for growth. Agentic AI systems execute multi-step workflows autonomously, replacing the need for human oversight in complex digital tasks. This technology enables silent attrition. When an employee leaves, the company avoids a replacement hire by routing that person's workflow directly into an AI agent. This shift targets young professionals most aggressively. The basic data processing and research tasks that once allowed graduates to enter an industry are now easily digitized. This diagram shows the resulting break in the corporate workforce. The foundational training tier dissolves into digital nodes, leaving senior tiers floating without a base. As the remaining tiers compress, a fraction of the workforce generates the output that once required entire departments. By removing the entry-level rung, companies are effectively automating the start of the career ladder. This shifts the corporate focus from hiring for human potential to hiring for immediate digital output. With foundational roles disappearing, an overwhelming skills gap has emerged. Employers now demand 6 advanced skills for positions that previously required only 3. This environment creates a stagnation trap. Workers remain in jobs they dislike because they lack the highly specific, elevated experience required to compete in massive applicant pools. Hands-on roles in healthcare and trades are booming because physical tasks remain far more difficult to digitize than white-collar work. For office workers, surviving this transition requires entering the great reskilling. Traditional corporate jobs are morphing into hybrid roles focused on the design and management of AI workflows. A worker's value is now measured by their mastery of human-AI collaboration. Legacy industry knowledge is secondary to the ability to leverage these automated tools. The current struggle reflects the friction of a changing economic model. Success relies on learning to direct these machines rather than trying to outwork them.